So, all of you are fairly experienced and know quite a bit about what we've already been doing, but I just wanted to this is our last session for this month. So I just wanted to briefly recap. We started off by settling the body through sensations. That sensation of touch, and then imagining the feeling, noticing the sensations. That's just to develop an awareness, but also to start calming the body down. Then we looked at how to manage dysfunctional thoughts and distractions. And now in this part of the course, they start looking at functional thinking. And the purpose of that is because if we start identifying too strongly with all this dysfunctional thinking, we're going to think that that's all we are. But we're kind of more than that. What you'll notice about all this dysfunctional thinking and all the thoughts that are in our head is that it doesn't last, pretty much doesn't last from morning till night, unless you're grieving or something like that, something really serious has happened in the family or something like that. So I think one of the things and I've done several meditations today. One of them was at the YMCA with a group. We did a very simple purification meditation. And what is always really striking to me with these people is because they don't have a background in Buddhism. It comes back to me very strongly what it is I'm saying with them and the feedback I get from them, how it impacts them. And, this idea that their delusions are impermanent is kind of striking for them, and that they actually have the power to do something about it and to recognize this idea of impermanence. It's very important. And then also this idea of not focusing too strongly on the negative, but to recognize that, to not recognize, but just to have awareness of what's actually in the mind. And then knowing that it's impermanent, firstly, and that you can actually do something about it. And that also not to give yourself too much of a hard time. That's super important to not get negative towards yourself. And like I said, I think in one meditation, talk to yourself the same way you talk to your dog. Hi, how are you? So nice to see you. Let me give you a tummy rub. How are you doing today? You're the most beautiful puppy in the whole wide world. That's how I talk to my landlords. I call them Lord, but there's just Christine is actually my landlady, but they have a dog called Bodhi. And Bodhi occasionally comes to visit me, and that's how I talk to her. And I'm like, God, I should talk to myself like that anyway. Anyway, so what we're going to do today is, I think we're going to do 3 meditations, but we're going to do a little bit about functional thinking. And then we're going to do some meditation. So, mindfulness and functional thinking. And I just wanted also to invite some feedback from you all about perhaps what have been the most useful parts of this course for you. What have you been able to take home with you and use or continue to integrate in your practice? I'm assuming that because I think all of you have done this before, you've got something out of it and have come back for more. And I think what I'd like to do, because the course itself, I'd like to simplify it maybe on, I don't know if a PowerPoint presentation would be helpful at all, but, or maybe not. But it seems to me that you guys really enjoy meditating. So I think that's what's important for me. I think it's important that you get the experiential side of it more than the academic. Okay. So nothing you want to say? Anything that struck you this last week, Robert? Are you? Oh, there you go.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I think what I kind of picked up from this was kind of the kindness of working through this. It's like this is something we're all kind of experiencing. These are things that arise. That's what we're working through. really not that special. And that's kind of nice. There is no hang up. There is no correction or should do better. That's kind of the vibe that I've gotten, or it kind of just worked for me when I've sat back and thought what I kind of picked up from this so far. So
I think that's
kind of where
wonderful to recognize too, because we are all in the same boat. Could you mute yourself? Because I'm now echoing. Thank you. There you go. Yeah, we are all in the same boat. And it actually, I think you were expressing there and what you were saying, a little bit of compassion for yourself and everybody else, because we all do have these same feelings, you know. Some people are a little bit more skillful in the way they go about their lives than others. We have a next door neighbor who's suffers enormously from anger. And of course, what sets him off is noise. So, of course, the tree loppers have been out this past week and he's been up and down the road screaming at them. Yesterday, it was so bad, people were threatening to call the police. Today, he stopped them from working. And I did see a police car coming up here, so I don't know if someone called the police, but it's just he's like the elephant in the room in us on our road because he's suffering so badly. And I guess I have, you know, we do feel compassion for this guy, but also we have to stay away from him because he's potentially quite dangerous. So, I mean, because his wife committed suicide and they're not sure how. So there is some slight suspicion there. But anyway, so we're careful. But anyway, what I feel is like, well, we all have anger and we all wish we could go and tell those, you know, guys to go deal with, you know, not please don't work on my street anymore, but you can't. So you have to do something to work on your mind around it. And this man has absolutely zero skills to deal with what's going on in his mind. So much lack of awareness. And it's actually really, really very sad. And so when we have these kind of tools to work on our minds, and like you were saying, Robert, you know, it's just like, oh, there's no pressure. I'm just like everyone else. We're all got the same stuff going on. And I think it just, you know, we do pressure ourselves. Oh, I'm not good enough. I haven't done enough, or I need to be doing more. I need to be somehow better for my family or better for my friends, or in my case, I need to be a better nun somehow, you know. And it's like, God, it's exhausting. How can we be better? You know, it's like, can't we just accept ourselves as we are right now? And because the strange thing is everybody else accepts us as we are, pretty much. Do you know what I mean? I think anyway, sorry, if you have anything you want to add, go ahead, just unmute yourself.
I did have actually more of a question. When those the last week, I kind of brought up when you're meditating, a hard feeling comes up, or a vision of some past. Do you sit? I heard somebody recommended today to me that you actually, when those things come up, actually look at the breath and kind of see, monitor kind of the changes right before that moment and kind of work toward that. I don't know if you have any opinions on that. That's the first time I've
Yeah.
heard that. I'm not quite sure how that works.
Who was it that suggested that?
It was actually a professor of one of my daughter. We just happened to be talking about this, and
Ah,
his background was more Hindu, and so I was, what is this? This is the first time I've heard this, so I'm kind of curious.
so let me just get it straight. He was suggesting when the delusion arises or the negative thought arises, bring the mind back to the breath. And is that right?
Yeah, so to get out of it, come back to the breath and kind of dissolve that. This is now just maybe define this as thinking, but maybe go back and map right before this moment happened, because for me it usually happens when I'm at the most, not peaceful, but just kind of in a deeper meditation where I'm really kind of comfortable. It feels like almost like the ego is popping back up saying, Hey, you forgot
Hi.
about me.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
yeah,
gonna
yeah,
slap
yeah,
you.
exactly. So
So those,
go on, go on.
no, I'm just saying those for me, and I don't know if everybody else is experiencing it, nothing special, but um, he suggested that his background with being a Hindu was more of practicing with the breath, and we didn't get really detailed, but he said go back and maybe look right before and see if you notice maybe some very small changes in your breathing. Usually I notice this when I've started off with monitoring the breath and I get really comfortable where I'm no longer forcing it. And when I'm just kind of dropped, that's usually when it comes up. So I
Well,
don't know if that's a Buddhist
that's
technique too.
interesting. It can be. Yeah. So one of the things that they say when you have these kinds of things arising, often it's a few seconds before you've recognized it's there. And you can start to control the breath. It's like you breathe in for a count of 4, exhale for a count of 6. This is definitely a yogi technique once you've recognized it. So once you start to use your breath to calm your nervous system down, the mind will normally calm down as well. I think what I'm hearing your professor friend suggesting is that the the way you're breathing might be enabling some of these thoughts to arise, or the way you're breathing might be enabling, I don't know, some anxiety perhaps. And then that might be a way to check, that would be to perhaps even the breath. So having an inhale of 4 and an exhale of 4 helps is quite stabilizing for the mind, or an inhale of 6, exhale of 6. So balancing the breath that way is one technique. Another technique would be so the only techniques I've come across like that are like dissolve those thoughts into light, or breathe them out as so in certain, like in the simple purification meditation, they say, as you know, if a delusion arises of some kind, you just imagine that as you exhale that delusion as smoke, and then you breathe in light. So you would do it that way. That's one way. You can try what your friend suggested, and it doesn't hurt by any means. Try what your friend suggested. And maybe we can do that simple purification meditation tonight. So you get it. Maybe we'll do it first, actually, and then you can get an experience of that. But it's very interesting what's happening to you, because it's almost like it's underneath the surface. When you let your guard down, then it starts to bubble up. And it might be worthwhile noting that if it's possible for you to get some distance, so you have this attitude of curiosity and of objectivity. So you can maybe, rather than getting involved in it, take a step back from it and start to see it as in a more objective way, without any kind of getting kind of all up engaged in it. So, and I think what the professor might be suggesting too is it's almost like you get on to try and get on top of it before it gets too bad. Like my friend who's just had the hip operation, they're sort of saying to her, make sure you take your meds before, get on top of the pain. So I mean that we can get on top of our brain as well. We can get on top of our mind. So, but that takes a little bit of awareness. And of course, you're developing more and more awareness. But I have, my niece actually experienced something similar many, many years ago. So I might check in with her and see how she's doing with that. But yeah, anyway, um, was that helpful? Okay, we'll do the simple purification and we'll see if that helps at all. Okay, Robert. Anybody else have anything they want to say, and then we'll get started, because we've only got an hour or something left, which is good. Nothing? Anyone? Okay.
I
Yes.
Venerable, I'm just trying to put myself in
Oh, that's
those situations, and to, you know, to and gosh, I don't know, that just seems really rough to, to stop instantly and then to um go back, and I don't know. That's just, it seems really, really interesting. I hope that one, I hope that I never have to experience it again, but having that tool, that thought process already, you know, in the queue, ready for when I do have a bad, like a PTSD arise, to have that's nice to have there in the queue, ready to go, ready to play out. So thanks.
I quite like that, the PTSD response lined up in a queue. Is that what you were saying?
Yeah,
Mm.
absolutely. Absolutely, because um often I yeah, it's just having something there ready, so that for me, where I'm ready, that I don't have to take that deep dive down into that rabbit hole of, oh my gosh, and but having that just kind of in the wing, ready for me. I do like that, so that I'm,
Okay. Oh, you
yeah.
mean the remedy waiting in the ring, the
Yes.
wings.
Yes.
I think one
Yeah.
of the things also too is you can, I don't know if any of you guys had grandmas or anything that would, when you were up to something as a kid, they would go, "Hi, what are you doing?" Like it's almost like you might want to talk to yourself when you get into that state. It's like, "Hello, what's going on? Like, what's going on with you today?" And it's almost like you have to calm everything down and talk to yourself like you would maybe to a child who's panicking. It's like, "Hi, I had a growling animal outside. I have no idea what it was. It's a raccoon something, it wasn't a cat, it was something growling. And when I stepped outside last night, it was a like this. I'm like, "Hi, what are you doing out there? Why are you growling?" And then it would go, and then, and then I'd like, "Hi." And then it was just responding to this voice that wasn't right. I think it was just so confused. It had no idea what to do. Anyway, then I went back inside because I knew it was confused. But anyway, that's I don't know what lives here, but something runs across the roof pretty regularly. Okay, let's get going. I'm going to start with the simple purification, actually. And let me get that up. Okay, so let's just settle into a nice, comfortable seated posture. Have your feet on the ground with flat on the ground. But if you are sitting in the cross-legged position, I think Robert might be, then have your coccyx slightly raised, your knees supported, and shoulders aligned with the hips. And imagine your spine is this beautiful string of pearls of light stretching from the base all the way up through the crown of the head and beyond. So just try and lengthen your spine. Have your ears aligned with your hips as best you can. Your shoulders. And then bring your mind to the crown of the head and just notice the sensations there. Allow the crown of your head to relax. Relax the forehead and the eyebrows, the eyes, eyelashes, the nose, the cheeks, the mouth, the back of the tongue. Relax your jaw and your ears and your inner ear. Relax the back of the head, the occipital bone, relax the back of the neck, and allow your shoulders and shoulder blades to drop down. Relax your throat and chest and belly and all of your limbs. Just notice the sensation of the air as you're inhaling and exhaling. It's a little bit cooler as you inhale, slightly warmer as you exhale. So just notice the sensations of the breath. And so I think if I remember clearly, Shayla, you preferred the belly, sensations of the belly, of the breath at the belly. The chest. As you're breathing in and out, really feel like you have a 360-degree breath, not just the chest moving up and down. So you feel the expansion of the ribs at the back of the body, the side of the body, and the chest. You may even notice the diaphragm moving up and down. And be aware of the sounds in your environment. Just allow the sounds to be there, trying not to follow with the mind. Try not to go off and investigate. And then notice the thoughts that are arising. So try not to think, like try not to force the thoughts. Oh, I should be thinking about something. Maybe there's nothing there really of any significance. Maybe it's just kind of random thoughts. Something got dinner coming after. Maybe you had dinner already. I don't know. But just allow very gently, without any forcing the thoughts to arise. And notice their impermanent nature. So if any of you are in the meditation this morning, you may have also had thoughts. Or maybe they're different thoughts now at the end of the day. Try and put some space in between the thoughts. And you can actually aid that with the breath. Just focus on the sensations of the in-breath and the out-breath. I think you'll find that once you bring your attention back to the breath, if you're in the middle of you've got to catch the story though, it's almost like, oh, where are you going? Whoa. Reel it back in and then breathe. And the thing that's curious is, you may not be able to get on top of the kind of forceful, triggering, really highly reactive thoughts all at once, but you will gradually, very, very slowly be able to start to get control. And you have to remember that the mind is impermanent. It's there's this emptiness, this empty of inherent existence. So it's not fixed. It's not fixed. And we do have, they're finding more and more in the scientists that we have more neurological plasticity. First of all, they thought it finished at the age of 5. That's when you should start learning a language. Of course, it's easier then, but we still do have plasticity at this age. And this idea of you can't teach an old dog new tricks, I think that's just kind of rubbish. So you do have the power to change your mind. The mind is impermanent. It's not fixed. It's really important to remember. And you may not become the happiest person in the world overnight, but you can start working on it. Okay, so here we have our simple purification practice. So as you're inhaling, imagine you're inhaling all the positive energy in the universe, and it enters you in the form of pure, blissful, radiant white light. So this morning I talked about white light, and there's one woman in the room who just understood it as powder, which I think is very sweet. I kind of quite like that idea. But in the text, it says white light. So imagine you're inhaling this white light and it's flowing into every part of your body, filling every cell, every atom, and it makes you just light and relaxed and blissful. So do that visualization with every inhalation. Now, if you wish, you can also count the breath. So breathe in for a count of 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then you just exhale. We're not meditating on anything right now on the exhale. Just breathe out. And then come back to the breath again. 4, 3, 2, 1 on the inhale, and pause. And imagine your body is full of this light. And then exhale. So we'll do that for another 2 or 3 minutes. And now exhale dark smoke with every exhalation. So you're breathing in this beautiful white light, and then it pushes out all your negative energy, your past mistakes, your distorted conceptions, disturbing emotions like anxiety. And imagine that it leaves your body with the breath in the form of this dark smoke or fog. And this smoke goes out into space where it just disappears completely. So you're not polluting the environment. You just imagine that the smoke becomes non-existent. And feel really confident that you've freed yourself of every trace of faults and negativity. So we'll do for another maybe 3 or 4 minutes. Just concentrate on this experience of breathing out the dark smoke of your problems and breathing in the white light of good energy for as long as you wish. And if you're distracted by thoughts or other experiences, just simply observe them and try this. Try not to react or jump in and get all involved. You can also transform these distractions into dark smoke and breathe them out into oblivion. So let's just try that for, I don't know, we could try that for 5 minutes. Like that gives you enough time to get into it. And if you notice your mind's sort of wandering around or wandering off, just you can bring your mind very gently back to the visualization of breathing white light in and the dark fog of all your distractions and delusions and problems. If that doesn't work, bring the mind back to the breath. And if that doesn't work, bring your mind down to your feet. Ground your feet. And then come back to the meditation. Look, everyone, just relax. Hi, Sauce. So how was that, everybody? It's like a simple version of Vajrasattva. Okay, so let's continue with this functional thinking. So, Robert, was that helpful? That meditation?
Yeah, I quite enjoyed it. It was like a playground of new toys for meditation.
Okay.
Well, I liked the breath because the breath brought you back down to calm down, center the mind. Then when a thought did occur, I noticed it was, for me, it was very calm. But when I noticed something, maybe disturbance anchoring around the feet, it was kind of interesting because I was anchoring back to the floor and then I felt very solid.
Okay,
So,
great. So there's maybe something there in about you feeling like you need to be grounded, or you need something solid underneath. You know, you need something stable there. There might be something to do with stability. Who knows what that is? Anyway, you might know what that means. But I also find the feet, because the feet are so important. You know, like when we hurt our big toe, do you know how it affects the whole body? Do you know what I mean? You hurt your big toe and all of a sudden you're leaning on this side, then you got a pain here because you're compensating this way and that way. And then when you put your feet on the ground and you really start to feel all the different surfaces on the sole of the foot, I don't know. It just feels, for me, it also feels really comforting to do that. And I think it's, you know, it's not in any text anywhere except for when you're doing this Tai Chi Chuan practice, or if you're doing yoga. But I kind of find it really helpful. That's why I bring it into the meditations. Yeah. Okay. Let's get back to the mindfulness course. Okay. I'd like also, actually, this only takes about 5 minutes. I'd like to do the 9-round breathing because it's hi Phyllis, you're back. It's also very, very grounding. And I don't know if I told you guys this story about this. You know, I was down in Laguna Beach doing a course down there. It was like 2016 or 17, something like that. And I did the 9-round breathing with the people down there. And one woman was going through some kind of divorce thing, had been through. Anyway, they had, it was hot. It was like very triggering for her. So what was triggering was around money and her sons and da 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 da. And so there was something going. I think her ex-husband said something regarding money and one of her children, and she decided to go off rather than react. She decided to keep her mouth shut and go to her room and do some 9-round breathing, and then came back out again before she spoke. Now, that would have taken quite a bit of courage just to say, I need some space. I was kind of impressed that she did that. And I've never forgotten it, because I wish I had in many occasions had the wherewithal to go, okay, I'm not going to answer now. I'm just going to take a step back. I'm going to do some 9-round breathing, and then I'll talk to you afterwards. And, you know, so I think it's helpful. But anyway, have any of you done it? I think some of you may have done it in here with me, this 9-round breathing. Okay, so then let's just do it. I'm opposite to you. So imagine, again, this is also excellent to do. It really only takes about 4 or 5 minutes. I mean, because with me leading, it takes a bit longer. But breathe in through, start by breathing in through the right nostril. Imagine you're breathing in this blissful, radiant white light, and then just pause at the top of the breath, and then exhale through the left, all of your unhealthy attachments, anxiety, all of your grasping and neediness and not feeling like you're enough. This is all comes under the heading of attachment. Amazing. So exhale that as, just like foggy, thick smoke. And then you can change hands again, block the nostril, the left nostril, breathe in through the right, light. Pause at the top of the breath, and then exhale all your unhealthy attachments. And then breathe in again through the right nostril. Pause at the top of the breath, and then exhale all your unhealthy attachment. Change hands. Block the right nostril with the back of the left index finger, breathing in through the left nostril. And pause, and then exhale through the right all your anger and bitterness and grudges and wanting to yell at the tree choppers and, vitriol, wishing to harm, jealousy, bitterness. All of this, just let that out. And then breathe in through the left. And pause and exhale through the right all of your anger. And one more time, breathing in through the left. And breathe out all of that anger through the right nostril. Now just have your hands very relaxed in your lap and breathing in through both nostrils, light. Pause at the top of the breath, and then exhale all of your ignorance. So in this particular tradition, we're talking about not knowing the way things truly exist, not appreciating cause and effect, the effects of karma on our life. And, I always use this analogy with the people at the YMCA. We're just dusting the mirror. So breathing in through both nostrils. Pause and then exhale all your ignorance energy. And so you see also examples of ignorance. I don't know if, through this election cycle. I think one of the best examples of ignorance I saw was some people espousing the rumor that in California, babies were being aborted after birth at 9 months. Just doesn't make sense. So I would call that an example of conventional ignorance. So medically, it doesn't make sense. Legally, it doesn't make sense. So breathing in through both nostrils. Pause and then exhale. So now that's the first set. So let's do 2 more sets in our own time. I just want to check everybody knows what they're doing. I think you do. So just we'll do it in our own time, and then we'll check in again after the 3rd set. Okay, everyone, just open your eyes and maybe just feel. So just notice how you're feeling this now compared to when you first arrived into the Zoom room. Okay, so when you're ready, if you have anything you want to share, just let me know. Otherwise, we'll continue. We've got probably about 35 minutes left. I just want to revisit the meditation on mindfulness of thoughts before we move into functional thinking. We're going to end with the, we'll see where we get to. Okay. So just go back, settle back into your practice, your seated meditation. So, you're already quite dropped down, so to speak. So close, go back into your meditation posture. And we're going to try and refine this and discern a little bit more by differentiating the different types of thinking our attention is involved in. So we can replace that simple label of thinking with other labels that better reflect the contents of our thoughts. So we want to have the labels to be both accurate and neutral in their tone, so as not to provoke any negative judgmental attitudes towards ourselves and our thoughts. So, as we're thinking, so this is a little meditation that we do at the very beginning of our Vajrasattva practice, or all of the practices I do with you, when we've noticed the sounds, and then we go and notice what's arising in the mind. So just go back there, watch what's arising in the mind. Now, your mind, after already doing an hour of meditation, may be fairly calm, maybe like the surface of a lake. It's just very calm and still. However, thoughts may still be arising. So some possible labels include remembering, planning, daydreaming, worrying, judging, anger, and so on. And in this way, we can become more mindful and perhaps a little wiser in regards to the types of kind of habitual thinking we engage in. But just notice what's there and see if you can attach a category to what it is you're thinking. So what we're doing here is taking a step back. We're not actually involved in the thoughts. We're, again, coming with this attitude of curiosity and observation. So, like it says in the text here, accurate and neutral. So that's what you're looking for when you're actually observing something. We're just looking for facts. And you don't have to do anything with the information. It's quite freeing, actually. So we'll just do this for another 2 minutes or so. Okay, just relax, have a little wriggle. And then we're going to do meditation on loving kindness for self. You can have a drink of water if you need one. So here we are thinking about this idea of extending loving kindness towards ourselves, supported by a few simple phrases. And, you know, you feel free to experiment with different words than the ones that I'll be saying. And you can change them as we go along. But by repeating slowly and mindfully these phrases, you can start channeling your attention in the direction of genuine care and concern towards yourself. And then allow the heart time to respond with, you know, the appropriate feelings when it's ready. So sometimes the heart takes a moment to catch up with the head. And, you know, sometimes when you say the phrases, you may not necessarily believe, oh, I'm not worthy of that. Well, that's not me. Oh, yes, you are. So you have to allow that to kind of, you know, sink in. So we have to facilitate the arising of genuine loving kindness towards ourselves and just allow that to arise in between the repetition of the phrases of loving kindness. So we'll pause to reflect on the basis of having ourselves as a recipient of our own loving kindness and loving concern. And we, you know, as we do in our equanimity meditation, all of us want to be happy and we don't want to suffer. reflect on this validity in relation to your own experiences. It is true that deep down, I really want to be happy and I don't want to suffer. I mean, you can even ask yourself, is that true? Does that apply for me? I think you'll find it does. The fact that we come and sit in a meditation position and then we want to shift around means that we don't want to suffer. We don't want to be uncomfortable. So we move ourselves to get away from the discomfort. So we can also think about other reasons. We might want to strengthen this quality of loving kindness towards ourselves. So for some of us, it could, you see the goodness within yourself. You might also be able to sense the yearning for love or remembering past experiences of happiness and, wishing that for ourselves again. And for some of us, no reason is needed to extend love and kindness. So before we start this, I just want you to try a little exercise and put an image of yourself in front of yourself. So if you're sitting, have your replica self sitting in front of you. And what I want you to do is recognize in yourself, make a list of all your good qualities, of all the things you're good at. All the responsibilities you've taken on in your life. Your qualities, your skills, your generosity, your ability to share. Okay, so I hope you have a nice big list there. So just allow your spine to be in its own natural position, shoulders aligned with the hips. Just allow the natural curves in the body. Rest your hands somewhere comfortable so your shoulders can be relaxed. And just feel free to keep your eyes closed, or if you do have them open, maybe just a drishti gaze, as they say in yoga. It's just an unfocused gaze. And don't have them too wide open, just cracked open just a little bit. And just return your attention to the body again. And just notice the sensations there. I always find the crown of the head easiest, but you can notice the sensations at the soles of the feet or in your hands, because the feet are touching the ground and your hands are in your lap. And notice the sensations of the breath. And then notice all the sensations of softness and ease. And can you welcome these feelings and allow yourself to enjoy them while they're here? And maybe there's some tension there as well, or uncomfortable feelings. So can you simply acknowledge them for the moment? Don't feel that maybe you need to change immediately for the better. Just let them be. Check in with the sensations at your face and just relax all the facial muscles. The eyes, the jaw. Can you allow softness and ease to come into your face? And allow this softness and ease, relaxing feeling just to spread on its own throughout the rest of the body, and helping the body to resettle back into meditation in its own time. So we can start with a few phrases that best express our understanding of what it means to love, to care, and to show concern. And we can start with these stock phrases. You can change them as you go along. May I live in safety. And this is wishing oneself to feel safe and to have security in life. I mean, almost these are affirmations, you know. May I be happy. Wishing oneself to feel joy, cheerfulness, and happiness in the mind and heart. May I be healthy. Wishing oneself to enjoy physical health and well-being. And may I live with ease. Wishing one's daily life and work flow to be smooth, to be easy. May I live in safety. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I live with ease. So you can repeat the phrases slowly and mindfully at your own pace to yourself, and stay connected to the intentions behind these words, and extend loving kindness towards yourself. And part of that is this ability to appreciate that actually you do deserve this. And how are you going to give love to anybody else? How are you going to show love and concern to anyone else if you can't accept that you deserve it as well? And on occasion, when a nice warm feeling of love and kindness arise, you can entwine those feelings among the phrases and offer it back to yourself. May I live in safety. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I live with ease. So Also, come back to the phrases when you get distracted. You don't have to worry if you're not feeling particularly loving towards yourself. You can allow your heart plenty of time to catch up and respond in its own way. You can just rely on the words to guide your heart towards loving kindness. It's kind of like a roadmap. So again, when these nice warm feelings of love and kindness arise, entwine them among the phrases and offer them back to yourself. May I live in safety. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I live with ease. So let's just reflect a little bit that all of us want to be happy and we don't want to suffer. Again, pause and think about this. Is it true for you? And how do you wish this happiness to manifest in your life? It's almost like we're developing a plan. So when you feel ready, come back to the phrases and continue to offer loving kindness to yourself. May I live in safety. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I live with ease. We can also reflect on other reasons that activate loving kindness for ourselves. So some of us may see the goodness within us. So go back to your list. Some people may remember their past experiences of happiness and wish that to continue. And others may also have a sense of yearning for, love. May I live in safety. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I live with ease. Now of the friend, enemy, and stranger, bring to mind your loved one. or maybe just all of the important people in your life. And for each of them, take time to open your heart and express your love and appreciation to them. And we'll slowly and mindfully repeat the words and the phrases of loving kindness. And then when our heart is ready to respond with the warm feelings of genuine loving kindness. Our mind, this mindful awareness encompasses both the people and the quality of loving kindness itself as it suffuses our heart and mind. So we can, again, as we did with ourselves, we can pause in between and reflect on the basis, of extending loving kindness and loving concern towards these people. We can see that they are just like us and everyone else in that they all want to be happy. They don't want to suffer. And just remember their good qualities and the kindness and the love they've shown to you. And, think about your thoughts and feelings about them. And, for some of us, there's no need for extending love and kindness to others. Maybe you just love these people. You don't care whether they've done anything for you or not. So, again, just allow the body to relax. So, this person that you love, may you live in safety. So wishing your friend, your spouse, your child to feel safe and have security in life. May you be happy. Wishing these important people in your life to feel joy and cheerfulness and happiness in the mind and heart. And may you be healthy. Wishing them to enjoy physical health and well-being. And may you live with ease. Wishing others' daily life and work to be smooth and easy. So you might notice it's a little easier to do this for the ones you love than it is for yourself. And that is a little bit of an inquiry, I think, as you maybe say here. I don't know. I don't know how to speak anymore. So bring to mind these important people, maybe one at a time, or maybe you only just want to bring one person into your life, maybe one or two people. Allow a visual image of that person to appear and just reflect what you know about this person, their hopes, their fears, and actively reflect on the basis for extending loving kindness towards them. You can bring to mind their good qualities, their kindness and love for us, or their natural desire to be happy that's just universal. So we think, may you, have them in front of you, speaking to them. May you live in safety. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you live with ease. And coming back to the phrases when you get distracted, you don't have to worry if you're not feeling particularly loving. Just allow your heart plenty of time to respond in its own way. We can rely on the words to guide our heart toward loving kindness. And then these warm feelings will arise. And then entwine them among the phrases and offer them. May you live in safety. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you live with ease. And you can switch out one loved one for another, or you can have them all there in one group at your own pace, in your own time. And for each of them, repeat the reflection and then just use the phrases to extend loving kindness. May you live in safety. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you live with ease. So we'll just meditate on that for 3 minutes. Everybody just relax. And I want to have a quick check-in before we dedicate. And how's everyone doing? How was that for you? So the next step, I guess, in that meditation is to do the same thing for the enemies and the ones we don't like, and then the strangers. But that's just another level. But we could go there. How does that feel? We did a lot today, actually, in this hour and a half. So there's a lot to process. Some of it you can use, some of it you will forget, and we'll revisit it again. It's just, you know what I'm finding? Repetition is so important. It's so interesting. It's like we think, oh, I have to do something new. But I'm finding the most benefit comes from repeating the same thing over and over again. It just gives people a structure and allows you to go deeper. So I'm finding that's been so true with the Vajrasattva meditation, and I'm finding the same thing with the YMCA people. The group is just growing. It's like 18 people now, and I'm just doing the same thing every week, pretty much. I mean, I do change it a little bit, but I think the benefit comes from just repetition. Just it's almost like it gives you a structure from which you can just go a little bit deeper, 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 deeper. Does anyone have anything they want to say before we sign off? We've got like 3 minutes left. No? Okay. Let's just dedicate the whole course. And thank you so very much for coming along. I found it myself, as usual, always enormously beneficial. I might get more out of it than you guys. Anyway, let me share this. Where's it gone? I quite like this little set of dedication prayers that was okay. All right. So let's just dedicate the whole course. There's a little bit on emptiness there as well. Oh, Jang Chub Sem Chog Rinpoche, Ma Ke Panam Ke Gyurchig, Ke Panyam Parme Pari, Gong Ne Gong Du Pelwar Shog, Tong Ni Tawa Rinpoche, Ma Ke Panam Ke Gyurchig, Ke panyam parame pari, gong ne gong du pelwar shu. Gang ri ra wei korwe jing kam dir, pendang de wa ma lu zhong wei nei, chen rei zing wan tenzin gyat so yi, sha pe si te baradu tengyur chi. And make a strong wish for the swift return of Lamzo Rinpoche's unmistaken reincarnation, and then also dedicate this, as a beautiful practice, this course. It's really very helpful, I find. So just dedicate to the people who put it together and created it, and of course to all of your own precious teachers. Okay, everyone, I'm going to run off and have some dinner. I will see you all in half an hour. And lots of love. And thank you so much for hosting, Shayla, with all those children you have around you. Amazing. Thank you. Okay. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Venerable.